And the winner is Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm going to accept this award on behalf of her.
It's a nice accessory for you in the meantime.
Thank you very much.
Rookie season, Caitlin Clark in her first eligible year wins an ESPY award for WNBA Player of the Year. This comes as no surprise.
The WNBA dynasty is crumbling right before our eyes, and A'ja Wilson can't believe it. The woman who has dominated the league for years now finds herself watching from the sidelines as Caitlin Clark ascends to the throne.
Oh, what a wonderful day it is to wake up. And Caitlin Clark is the WNBA Player of the Year, awarded by the ESPYs. You know why? Because the god Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. Ladies and gentlemen, not no weak-ass BET award where the BET Awards ain't held no weight for over 10 years. A real award, awarded by
The Las Vegas Aces are sitting at a mediocre 11-11 record, a stunning fall from grace for the former two-time champions. A'ja Wilson's reign as the best player in the WNBA is ending, not with fanfare, but with frustration, as the rookie sensation turned sophomore superstar, Caitlin Clark, has officially become the face of women's basketball.
Clark has officially won the ESPY for Best WNBA Player. The WNBA Player of the Year goes to Caitlin Clark. Congrats to CC for winning the ESPY. Well deserved. Would you guys like to know who she beat out? Would you guys like to know who lost to Caitlin Clark? This ain't no BET. All right. My bad. You know how y'all get. I can't even say no jokey jokes, man. Dang. Caitlin Clark officially won the ESPY versus the other nominees. She beat out A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Nafisa Call.
The numbers tell the brutal story of A'ja Wilson's 2025 season. Her Las Vegas Aces, once the undisputed kings of the WNBA, have plummeted to a .500 record, sitting in 8th place in the league standings. Just 2 years removed from their 2023 championship and 1 year after a 2024 semifinal exit, the Aces have transformed from title contenders into mere playoff hopefuls.
Other than the first 5 years that the WNBA has been alive, nobody has brought more attention to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has brought more viewership to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has done such a service bringing them out of the basement and into the mainstream other than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, there have been names that have come and gone. There have been names. Diana Taurasi, she was a name. Candace Parker, she was a name. Maya Moore, she was a name. But they were just all big names in the WNBA. They didn't transcend the sport. They didn't, oh my goodness, we got to sit down and watch. No. Great players, but not Caitlin Clark. Great players.
Wilson's individual statistics still shine, averaging 22.3 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. But context matters, and it has changed dramatically. Her team is struggling to remain relevant in a league that has already moved on from her era. The three-time MVP has watched her empire crumble, while a young guard from Iowa has captured the imagination of the entire basketball world.
Nominees were Nafisa, A'ja Wilson, and Breanna Stewart. You know what's ironic about this? Is that the players ranked her 9th best guard in the W. But whoever is voting on the nominees for the ESPYs says that she's a better player overall. I think we all know there's one player in that group of nominees that's not too happy about this shit. But congratulations to Miss Caitlin Clark, man. She deserved this shit.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. Coach Becky Hammon's frustration was on full display after a particularly disgraceful loss to the Indiana Fever, even without Caitlin Clark on the floor. Hammond delivered a scathing assessment, calling it one of the worst games she has ever seen. She criticized her team, saying it showed a complete lack of professionalism to face Indiana with that kind of effort. The Aces managed a season-low 54 points in the defeat, shooting a dismal 26.2% from the field.
3 quarters of trash. The offense was trash, the defense was trash. There has to be some fight back. If they're going to allow that kind of physicality, My team has to step up and match that physicality, period. One team is physical and one team is not. One team is 3 steps behind and one team is not. They got all the 50-50 ball. I mean, they busted our ass in every kind of way, Michael. There's just no two bones about it. It's one of the worst games I've ever seen.
The statistics tell an even harsher story. Las Vegas ranks 9th in points per game with just 80.2, 9th in defensive rating at 102.9, 10th in rebounds per game at 32.9, and 11th in field goal percentage at 41.3%. They're second to last in assists with 16.9 and dead last in fast break points at 8.1. For a team that once set offensive records and dominated on both ends of the floor, these numbers reflect a spectacular organizational collapse. While Wilson's aces have struggled, Caitlin Clark has risen from promising rookie to the undisputed face of the WNBA. Her recent ESPY award for Best WNBA player symbolizes a changing of the guard in women's basketball. Clark edged out Wilson, who had won the award in 2023 and 2024, along with Breanna Stewart and Nfisa Collier, to claim the honor.
All great players, all deserving, awesome players, some of the best in the world. I actually think that those 4 are the best 4 players in the world. So definitely great competition with the nominees. We got to talk about it, man. Caitlin Clark, she came in and has been spectacular, especially that rookie season. She came in and was first team all WNBA, first team, absolutely sick, all-star, broke pretty much any record you could have as a rookie. She shattered it. You know, over 60 some records. What was the slogan? Is there a record for records? That is Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark's impact on the Indiana Fever extends far beyond individual accolades. Her team reached the Commissioner's Cup championship for the first time in franchise history, claiming the league's in-season title with a 74-59 upset over the Minnesota Lynx. Remarkably, they accomplished this without Clark in the lineup, showing just how much her presence has elevated the entire organization. Even when missing games due to injury, Clark's statistical production remains elite. When healthy, she averages 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game. Her court vision and basketball IQ have transformed the Fever's offense, making her teammates noticeably better players. Currently, the team sits at 12-11, a respectable record that keeps them in playoff contention. A remarkable turnaround for a franchise that missed the postseason for 8 consecutive years before Clark's arrival.
Goofy clown, oh, she ain't the face of the league. She ain't this, she ain't that. Her second year in the WNBA, man. Running the league. WNBA Player of the Year, Goofies. What y'all gotta say? What excuses y'all want to write in the comments? Y'all want to talk about her shooting slump or how Kelsey and Aaliyah Boston are the better players on the team, or because she's white, or what you gonna talk about? Black people are cool that support her. What bullshit y'all want to talk about? Because you ain't taking this award away from the god Caitlin Clark.
The betting markets tell the story of Caitlin Clark's rise. Throughout the 2025 season, multiple sportsbooks have consistently ranked her among the top MVP candidates. Even during stretches on the sidelines with injury, she maintains favorable odds, with many experts believing she could challenge for the MVP award if she stays healthy for the remainder of the season. Meanwhile, nothing highlights A'ja Wilson's fall from grace, quite like the current MVP race. Nfisa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx has emerged as the overwhelming favorite, with odds ranging from -275 to -700 depending on the sportsbook. Wilson, once a perennial MVP candidate and 3-time winner, now sits at +8,000, effectively eliminated from serious consideration. Despite missing significant time herself, Clark remains ahead of Wilson in most MVP rankings and betting odds. Her influence, both on the court and culturally, has elevated her above Wilson in the eyes of voters and fans alike. Even sidelined, Clark generates more conversation and excitement than Wilson's dominant individual performances on a struggling team.
It is for ESPYs, but the girl been carrying the league on her back and doing it while she's wounded. But as we know, people are gonna say she didn't deserve it. Just like people said, Angel didn't deserve her award, or Angel didn't deserve to be on the cover of 2K26. And my message to y'all, don't hate the player.
The Aces' struggles go beyond just this season. Significant roster changes have disrupted their championship chemistry. The trade of longtime guard Kelsey Plum to the Los Angeles Sparks for Jewell Loyd has backfired spectacularly. Loyd is posting career-low numbers and struggling to fit into the Aces system. A'ja Wilson herself has expressed frustration with the team's performance and direction. She's been critical of teammates, coaches, and even officials, with emotional outbursts during games, including a halftime rant demanding everyone do their job, showing the pressure of carrying a franchise that has lost its championship edge. The departures of key role players like Tiffany Hayes and Alicia Clark in free agency have exposed the Aces' lack of depth. Without the supporting cast that fueled their past championship runs, Wilson has had to shoulder an enormous burden while watching the team's title window rapidly close. Coach Becky Hammon's leadership has also come under scrutiny. The former WNBA point guard led the Aces to back-to-back championships in 2022 and 2023, but her system appears outdated in 2025. The Aces now rank near the bottom in most team statistical categories, and their offensive execution has regressed dramatically from their record-setting seasons.
Award is for the people who moves the needle for their team, who's the most dynamic individual for their team to get their team over the hump. And clearly, only one name only stood out to me. It's clear as day. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC. You can be a goofy all you want to and keep going against the grain like we all can't see. You hear me? Whether you wear glasses or not. The eye test tells everything, and numbers don't.
Beyond the stats and standings, A'ja Wilson must face a harsh reality. The WNBA has moved on from her era. Caitlin Clark embodies everything the league wants: young, exciting, marketable, and capable of drawing mainstream attention. Clark's jersey sales, TV ratings, and social media engagement dwarf Wilson's numbers. Despite Wilson's superior career accomplishments, Clark's games draw national television audiences and sell out arenas. Her preseason exhibition against Brazil in Iowa set WNBA records for resale ticket prices, with fans paying an average of $670 just to see her play. The Fever have become must-see television. While the Aces struggle to generate excitement even in their home market, the generational shift is clear in media coverage and fan engagement. Young fans gravitate toward Clark's dynamic style and compelling story. Her college career at Iowa, where she became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, built a massive fan base that followed her to the professional level. Wilson, despite her decorated professional resume, cannot compete with Clark's cultural impact. Even the league's marketing strategy reflects this shift. Clark receives prominent placement in promotions, and her games are regularly scheduled for primetime television. The league recognizes Clark as the future, while Wilson, though only 28, represents a championship era that has now concluded.
Absolutely a Caitlin Clark fan. She is an amazing point guard. What she has done for the WNBA, that sometimes when I think about it, I'm just like, that was her calling. Like, she was supposed to shine that light. And the WNBA has been doing what it's been doing, but that mission was given to her to shine that light, and I respect her for that. I cannot take that away from her. I love her style of basketball. Her eye, her pass. She's literally a Tom Brady.
Wilson's individual excellence remains undeniable, but context matters in modern basketball analysis. She leads the league in blocks per game, 2.4, and ranks second in scoring at 22.3 points per game. Yet these numbers come on a team without championship aspirations. Her efficiency ratings remain elite, but efficiency without winning carries less weight in MVP discussions. The contrast becomes even clearer when looking at team success. Caitlin Clark's Fever reached the Commissioner's Cup Championship and won the tournament, while Wilson's Aces sit at .500 and face an uncertain playoff future. Clark's assist numbers, 8.8 per game when healthy, demonstrate her ability to elevate teammates. Wilson's game remains more individually focused. Her win shares and player efficiency rating are strong, but they are overshadowed by players on better teams contributing to actual victories rather than empty statistical achievements. I end today's NBA and WNBA. individual brilliance without team success carries less influence in award voting and historical legacy discussions, making the distinction between Wilson and Clark's impact impossible to ignore.
But at the end of the day, CeCe makes her team better, and without CeCe, they don't look so good. If you watch the game or been watching the games before she got hurt, that'll tell you all that you need to know. And understand, CeCe, a lot of us love you and appreciate what you do for the game.
For the first time in her professional career, A'ja Wilson must confront the reality of being the second best player in the league. Her 3 MVP awards and championship resume once established her as the face of the WNBA, but that era has definitively ended. The question now is how she will handle this transition. Wilson's emotional responses throughout the 2025 season suggest that accepting secondary status won't come easily. Her confrontational approach with officials, teammates, and media reflects someone struggling with reduced influence and attention. The competitive drive that made her a champion now works against her, as she fights to remain relevant in a league that has moved beyond her prime. The psychological adjustment from being the best to being very good challenges even elite athletes. Wilson built her identity around dominance and MVP-level performance. Now she must find motivation and satisfaction in new metrics, perhaps team success, veteran leadership, or chasing specific statistical milestones. This transition will define the next phase of her career. Her relationship with Caitlin Clark is particularly compelling. While Wilson has shown respect for Clark's abilities during their limited interactions, competing with someone who has surpassed her in cultural relevance and league impact creates natural tension. Selecting Clark for the All-Star game demonstrates professional courtesy, but privately coping with being eclipsed by a second-year player must stir complex emotions.
Actually, no reason to give this to A'ja Wilson. There is no...
What the fuck? Most career games with 25 points and at least 10 assists in WNBA history. She's played 42 games. She's 2 games in her sophomore season. This is insane, bro. And I think it was another stat, 20 and 10 games, that she's already like, with like just 20 and 10 games, she's already like fucking.
The remainder of the 2025 season will determine whether A'ja Wilson can adapt to her new reality or continue resisting the inevitable. The Aces need major improvements just to reach the playoffs, let alone contend for a championship. While Wilson's individual brilliance remains undeniable, it must translate into team success to preserve her legacy. How she responds to this changing landscape will define the final chapters of her career. Embracing a veteran leadership role while supporting the league's rising stars could extend her relevance and impact. On the other hand, continuing to fight against the cultural shift risks further marginalization and conflict with the league's direction. The contrast between Wilson's trajectory and Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise highlights how quickly fortunes can shift in professional sports. Championships and individual awards provide temporary advantages, but sustained excellence demands adaptation and evolution. Wilson struggled to maintain her team's championship level, while Clark simultaneously emerged as the face of the league, has created a perfect storm of career transition.
It's just crazy, like, CeCe brings so much to the WNBA, bro. The game, her skill set, let alone. But her willpower, just, she stays fighting, like, you know what I'm saying? No matter how many times people done tried to bring her down mentally and physically. Y'all see what I see? You know what I'm saying?
Looking ahead, Wilson faces decisions that will define her legacy. She can embrace her role as a former champion, focusing on veteran leadership while supporting the league's growth. Or she can attempt to reclaim her throne through improved team performance and individual excellence. Either path requires acknowledging that the WNBA has entered a new era, one where Caitlin Clark reigns supreme, and Wilson must find her place in this changed landscape. The dynasty is ended, the Empress has been dethroned, and A'ja Wilson now navigates life as the former queen of a league with a new ruler. How she handles this transition will determine whether history remembers her as a gracious champion who passed the torch, or as someone who struggled to accept that every reign eventually comes to an end.